Dusty Futon is a Big John Entertainment production. Go to BigJohnEntertainment.com to sign up for the Big John Entertainment newsletter to receive updates on the Dusty Futon and other Big John Entertainment productions. And this episode is brought to you by Backstage360.com, the musician's media. The Dusty Futon is a musician's podcast bringing you the raw musician and what they bring to the table. Backstage360.com works hard to bring you even more with creative write-ups, professional interviews, and stunning photography. Full disclosure, I do contribute write-ups and reviews and conduct interviews for them occasionally. Backstage360.com also assists with the promotion of events, products, tours, new music, and they provide an overall insider's peek into the impedimenta of the backstage. Backstage360.com, they truly are the musician's media.
Welcome to the Dusty Futon. I'm Tyler, your host of this episode. With me, I got Spicy Kim.
Hello, Tyler.
Today we got Infinite Signal with us on the cushions of the Dusty Futon, and they are a pop-punk, straight out of the turn-of-the-century style music. Very powerful, very emotional. We had a lot of fun talking with them. Very creative, too.
Very creative.
Extremely creative. Let's listen in.
This is Slow Jams 105.5.
Yeah.
Very well.
Oh, I'm coming in now. Here we go. I think it's just the connection.
This guy.
Uh-oh. You can undo that strap.
Nothing but top-of-the-line technology on the futon.
He's not on a futon.
We don't like to talk about that.
I told Eli, I was like, I'm going to be disappointed if it's not on the Dusty Futon.
Unfortunately,
I want my money back.
The futon was left in Santee in the garage, so it wasn't really ours.
Son of a gun to say.
It was my roommate's.
Yeah, straight back.
I love the concept that we created the Dusty Futon, but I've never owned a futon.
You know exactly. They've always been loaner futons.
This is my first futon.
A loaner futon. That sounds pretty gross, though. That's like buying
Yeah.
underwear at like a secondhand store. You know, like
Gross.
went to the DMV. I had to buy these boxers because
They were on sale.
yeah.
Ew.
They were slightly
Make sure you
used.
put that where it's comfortable, so you
Yeah.
don't have to,
That's
I
a little
love
bit
that
more
they put
comfortable.
Kelly in the throne. Right?
That's where I belong.
Exactly. Right.
Clean.
So you're sitting there just looking menacingly, petting your serval. You know.
Yeah, where's my,
Yeah,
where's
you have
my
a
cat?
serval, like an ocelot
Mr.
or something.
Mr. Pickles is out. Yeah. He's coming. Right on.
the awkward moment where we're waiting for somebody and nobody wants to start talking.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
God, I wish I knew a joke, but I really don't. I only have that one really bad joke.
Adjust the mic so it's right on your lips.
Right up in there.
Like,
facing
right up
you.
in my
Right up
business.
in there,
It's
yeah.
all in my,
Like
up
Up
my
in your
skirt.
grill.
Parallel to your mouth.
I like to place the microphone directly in the gap of my teeth,
Oh, really?
and then I talk
How
like
about
that. Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
That's a little better.
A little
I
better?
got a joke. Oh, I'm
Oh,
super like
please.
scratchy.
Well,
That's
good.
cool.
Yeah, right
It
on the- he said-
sounded like you had overdrive
Sorry,
on your
that was
voice
too
after that
close.
for a second, yeah.
Okay. I got a couple good jokes. I used to
Oh, I
work.
want-
I worked some night shifts at my old hospital, and you gotta tell jokes at 3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, right? Someone just died. Like, I need to laugh now.
Right?
Please.
Like, how do you make holy water?
What?
Oh, boy.
How?
You boil the hell out of it.
Oh.
By the way, don't hold back. Say anything you guys want on here. This is the internet. You can do anything.
Right.
It's the best, yeah.
You can be a band.
Yeah.
You can be yourself, actually. Yeah. Right.
First guy that makes me blush wins. And that's going to be a tough one to do. 'Cause
Guy.
I used to be in a punk band, too.
I've seen nothing. There we go.
What?
We're back.
There it is.
Oh, okay.
Are we tested?
I still feel loud. No,
Are we
that's it.
tested?
Test.
Has
Are we ready
has
to rock
everyone
and
here
roll?
been tested?
Check.
No way.
No.
We don't want to know.
Yeah, I like a little
This one's
mystery in
positive.
life, you know? And I
Life's
like
an
to share it
adventure.
with everybody else, too.
I want my own microphone.
I just feel like I'm eating an ice cream cone. It's delicious.
And people will hear that smile through as you speak. No, it's good. All right.
Episode
I think this is how every episode starts. Unofficially, we just get going, and Kelly tells jokes. Which, by the way, Kelly on the
Yes.
microphone over here, she gave
Yes.
an excellent joke here. Boiling the hell out of water to make it holy. Welcome to the Dusty Futon. Welcome back, everybody. We've got Infinite Signal with us today. Say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Dusty
don't
Futon is
have to
being
yell.
recorded in front of a
sorry.
live
That
studio
was my
audience
fault.
over there. Allie, are you back there? Say hello.
Hello. Welcome.
Awesome. Welcome. Thank you guys so much for coming out here, traversing this weather,
Thanks for
typical
having
San
us.
Diego weather. No, absolutely. So you guys are Infinite Signal. You guys are a pop punk band out of everywhere, it seems like. You guys came from different parts of the globe. First here, we're going to introduce everybody. We have Eli, guitar and vocals. Say hello, Eli.
Hello, Eli.
Where did you come from today?
Today I came from Santa Ana.
Santa, gross. Ew.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. How was the drive? Not bad?
Not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay, good. And then we got Kelly. Where did you come from, Kelly?
I guess technically Del Mar today.
Del Mar.
Yeah.
Fancy. Ooh.
Pinkies up. Ooh,
And then
right.
Drew. Where you from, bro?
Carlsbad.
Carlsbad, the
Oh,
hood.
another one. Woo.
Good.
Nice. So now, you guys are so spread apart. How the heck did you guys all meet?
Well,
In
Oh,
Minnesota.
man.
this
Yeah.
goes back like almost 11 years now.
Did I hear
12 years.
Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Let's
You
say
betcha.
2006 for us. 2005.
Yeah, 2005. 2006.
2005. I was playing in a punk band called Climus
In high school.
in high school, and we needed a drummer, and we found Drew. This is in a small town called Fergus Falls, Minnesota, where we went to school and grew up. So that's where Drew and I met, and we played in this band until 2007, when the band broke up. Actually, in San Diego, we lived in a van. We drove from Minnesota to the coast. We didn't
So
have
punk
directions. We
rock.
just drove west.
Did you get
no
lost?
Oh yeah, tons of times.
I left my Thomas Brothers
And
guide
then-
at home.
And then we found the ocean, and we're like, hey, we made it. So
Which ocean is this?
we've been in the van for 2 months, and that band broke up, and then I moved back to the Midwest. Drew stayed in San Diego.
Yeah.
That's easy to do.
Yeah,
That's why everybody
Right.
here is not from here.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I started writing stuff kind of on my own after that, just doing like acoustic, and then I wanted to start a band again. So I was living in Fargo, North Dakota.
Fargo.
Oh, did you
Oh,
do some
you
ice?
betcha.
Oh, yeah,
Ice fishing?
Fargo. I saw that in the movies.
It's real cold up there.
They got a TV show.
And,
It was a movie.
so I wanted to build up the band a little bit more. I moved to Minneapolis and sent out like a ton of ads online, like Musicians Classifieds, and that's how I met Kelly in Minneapolis. We had another drummer.
Classifies for bands, right?
Bands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's pretty
Not Craigslist.
Band mix.
And
tender.
Exactly right. She was like, swipe left, swipe left.
Wouldn't
Oh, God.
surprise me if that doesn't if that happens now.
just pictures of me with a guitar.
This is my love.
That ought to do it, right? I mean,
I got to chime in here because that actually happened on one of our episodes
Yeah?
last season. My old co-host Trevor, he met somebody on Tinder. He found a musician on Tinder,
Yes.
and he swiped right to talk to her and invited her on the podcast, and that's how we got.
That's
her.
amazing.
It was
That's
Lillian
incredible.
LaFranc. That was her name.
that horde.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. It's an interesting story, and we talk about it in that episode if
That's
you want to
right.
check it out.
The internet's a weird
Don't
The
place.
Dusty Futon making connections all
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
right.
I love
We have a
connections.
bunch of friends who go on tour and actually go
Yeah.
on Tinder and hit people up for places to stay for the night, and it's actually
works.
hasn't been sketchy for I don't know
Wow.
how. But
So is that
they've
like
done that.
Airbnb?
Nice.
That's a good one.
Super convenient, though. I love that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
So you started in Minnesota with another band. You ended up in San Diego out of like a tour you guys were trying to put together, and you broke up. And That's got to be awkward. That's a long drive back. That's why Drew just said, "Fuck it, I'm staying."
I'm staying.
Yeah, he's like, I made it out here. I'll figure it out. And so what? You came all the way back to Minnesota. Said, I got to start over again. And this is when you met Kelly.
Yes.
Awesome. And so now, what brought you back out here?
Well,
So
we
Yeah.
another long
we
story.
played in Minnesota for about 3 years. We had another drummer because Drew was still out here, obviously. And then we weren't really going anywhere. And, we do a lot of weekend touring. And in Minneapolis, there's really not many big cities around us. Chicago is the closest big city, and that's probably 6 or 7 hours. But that's also a scene that's really hard to get into if you're an out-of-town band. And otherwise, you have Iowa below you. You have North and South Dakota. They have great music scenes, but we were looking for something a little more, and finally got the opportunity to come back out to California. We moved out here with our old drummer, and about a year into that, he decided he didn't want to be out here anymore, so he moved back to Minnesota, and then Drew hit Eli up.
Drew hit me up and he's like,
Imagine
"Hey,
that.
you guys need a drummer?"
And Eli thought he was joking. Eli was like,
Yeah.
Drew hit me up today, and he was like, "Hey, you guys need a drummer?" And I was like, "Haha."
Drew felt the disturbance in the force. He's
did.
like, something is wrong. I need to reach out to you now.
Kind of swipe right.
Is that good call, Drew? Good call.
Yeah, and then originally it was supposed to just be kind of a fill-in until we could find something permanent, and then I think it all just kind of clicked, all kind of worked out.
So how long have you three been back together? Or,
The three of us have been together
July last year.
Yeah, about a year.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Cool.
We don't even know.
It's March.
A year and a half.
I don't know if we got a
Okay.
solid answer there yet.
Almost
Yeah.
2 years. Almost 2 years.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You cannot live your life by a clock, right?
That's right.
Very nice, very nice. Well, so now we're here to talk. We already talked about the musicians. Let's get a little bit more into the music here. This is the title track off of your latest album called The Dread.
Sweet.
Yes, let's give it a listen.
Killer.
Here comes the dread, the sudden apprehension. I don't know where it comes from, and I'm not sure how to stress this. I'm looking for the truth, I search in desperation. I watch my whole damn life just for a spark of inspiration.
Why is it so hard to start a new tradition? We're watching generations die of life in contradiction. Just do what I say, don't do what I do. It's hard to
So this is awesome. I mean, this is taking me back,
Thank you.
taking me way, way back to like, if I close my eyes, I picture myself in the living room playing like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. You know what I mean?
Monster drum.
Right in with the soundtrack there. Do you guys skate?
Try.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Awesome. Let's go right in.
And I just want you to know I understand I am alone. And if I've learned from what you said, it's that I am already dead. Tired of always fighting, but I know that it can't wait. I'm strong enough to cope with it, but what a goddamn waste. I never thought my energy would burn on all this dirt. And now my time is claimed but never earned. And I'm not giving in, I'm not accepting this is the end. I'm gonna burn out trying to save myself. And I just want you to know I understand I am alone. And if I've learned from what you said, it's that I am already dead. It's going to catch up and it's going to get bad. We're right at the point where there's no turning back. And you better not scream that you're only a victim. The world is to blame and it's only tradition. We're not giving up, we're not mindless machines. Repeating the lines that we see on our screens. This life we've been given is always the hardest. We're meant to adventure, explore and be honest. I'm not giving in. I'm not accepting this is the end. I'm gonna burn out trying to save myself. And I just want you to know I understand I am alone. And if I've learned from what you said, it's that I am already dead.
Yes. That was awesome.
Oh man, that
Sounds
was
better than I
great.
remember it sounding.
Yeah,
so that's
it
nice.
does.
All these vocals.
You know, it's funny.
It's the
It's
best
funny
part of the
during that
band.
that
She's amazing. I love her
the
voice.
intro of that and another song I think we gave you, Never Say Die. I went and saw AFI 3 nights in a row in San Diego, and I'm wearing a shirt right now because
Yeah, right?
that's all I own.
Epic.
But all of us got like super sick, and I barely had any voice. And so when we were recording this, we recorded not a few days after those shows, and I had like zero voice. We were waiting to do my vocals because I couldn't sing, and then Drew was like, "Dude, let's see how it sounds." Like,
Use it.
yeah.
I like that. That sounds really good.
So it's like a little more
Yeah.
raspy than it usually is.
It sounds dreadful.
It sounds awesome. I just love the tone of your voice. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. I haven't listened to that in a long time.
Wow.
I don't want it to be the end. That was awesome. And you know, I mean,
Thank you.
there was so many components to that song. It wasn't like typical punk rock where you hear, and want to go outside and smoke a cigarette too, where it's just jamming on stuff and yelling. That was so dynamic. It started out so soft and somber with Kelly. And by the way, the Sick, I think, really did work out.
Thank you.
Oh, it totally-
yeah.
yeah.
The
Absolutely.
extra rap.
The phlegm came through, and it just made it
And hit
made
the
it sound
mic.
so soulful and so like you were very stressed, at the
I
moment.
was.
I think
I
that's
didn't
what you
have
were
a
trying
voice.
to. The picture you were trying to paint.
It works with the song.
Exactly.
I
It
just
worked
got
out
to see
perfectly.
AFI 3 times in a row.
Yes.
How am I supposed to live up to that?
So I have to ask this: what are your influences? Because I mean, it doesn't seem like it's hardcore punk, or do you like hardcore punk?
I mean, I like hardcore. I like the more darker,
Yeah,
emo-y kind of stuff. Like
I hear it in your-
2000s emo-y. But yeah, hardcore and just regular punk. And we also like a lot of pop punk stuff.
Yeah.
Eli has a lot of odd influences.
Nice.
We have
Let's hear about those.
I have a really wide range of influences. I mean, it started with in the 90s, mid 90s punk with like Dookie and Dude Ranch, like
Yes.
the Blink and Green Day old school
Okay.
stuff, which really started my flair for music. And then later it kind of evolved into some darker stuff like Rise Against. Lately I've been listening to a lot of Touche Amore.
Stick to your guns.
Stick to Your Guns. And then I also like some really, I like a lot of orchestral stuff, a lot of compositions. Big fan of like movie soundtracks, Hans Zimmer, James Newton Howard, that kind of stuff.
Hey! So you're kind of like a nerdsition.
Yeah.
Aren't we all really?
Yeah. And, I like a lot of stuff.
That's awesome.
Super cool.
Yeah, I think we're all a lot different. What do you listen to, Drew?
Yeah, I'm more like Sinatra, jazz.
Jazzy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I grew up with like the Blink, Enema of the State, Nirvana, Limp Bizkit. Like,
Do
a
you
lot of
play
that
jazz
stuff.
drums? Does he have like the sideways like flair with the
No.
sticks when he plays? No.
But he can.
Yeah, that's true.
Depends on how many drinks I have. And there's a lot of flair going on.
That's usually
yeah.
the case. Well, I thought that song was amazing, and you guys sounded really good. It was so powerful, and the vocals were great, both of you. The emotion that you sing with, I noticed, Kelly, on your songs, is just, it comes through, and your lyrics are so kind of lonely and disconnected. Like you can relate to what you're saying.
Yeah, thank you.
know?
That's
cried a little
those are
bit, I'm
Eli's
not gonna lie.
lyrics.
They're
I just
beautiful.
sing
They're
them.
beautifully sung by both of you. Thank you.
It's cool because this one compared to our other stuff, Eli was kind of starting to find his voice. I think, thanks to I think a lot in part of Drew adding Drew in, and Drew was like, "No, sing it this way."
Typical drummer.
Yeah.
Drew,
Yeah.
no, Drew has the ear for vocals,
Yeah.
and weirdly I don't, because I sing all the time and I'm terrible at picking out inflections and when I should emphasize things and when I shouldn't.
Well, you fooled us. I mean,
And that's
I know.
That's
So
because
that's
of
all
Drew.
Drew.
And yeah, that was
Yeah.
Drew's.
Extremely well produced.
I'm the picky one of the band. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah.
everybody needs one of those. You know, you need the perfectionist in there if you really want to prove something really great.
Right.
Exactly.
But awesome. Heck yeah. So now I want to go a little bit more into you guys too. How old are you all? And I know I you don't have to answer.
What?
Oh, just I don't.
Yes.
No, I just turned 28 last week.
Oh, bless your heart. I wish I was 28
Happy
still.
birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
I know. I don't know what that was. I was in the punk scene a long time ago, and I'm like, girl.
28. Yep.
I'm 32.
Nice.
I'll be 31 on the 21st.
Ooh,
The dirty 30s.
We're getting old, aren't we?
We are.
it's rough.
30s.
The adulting thing. Like,
You have to start being like an
Still don't
easy
get it.
listening band pretty soon. Yeah.
more drinks for the jazz drummer.
Our next album will be Sinatra stuff.
So now, where can people see you coming up here in the near future?
Well, we have one show planned, and that was actually just announced, which I'm super excited for because I wasn't going to be able to say it if it wasn't already announced. We're playing in Pacific Beach, and it is a punk goes 80s pop night.
That sounds awesome.
And
Delicious.
so-
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
so excited.
Each
Yeah.
band, what's that?
Where you playing?
710 Club.
I was going to say.
And it's on May 27th. Let me pull up the flyer here because we just got it yesterday. And it was just announced yesterday. So it's May 27th, which is Memorial Day weekend. It's the Sunday of
Perfect.
Memorial Day weekend
Oh, great.
in PB. And it's us chasing Claymores, playing without a pilot, Ready, Set, Survive, and the Montel Jordans. And so we're all going to be
Fun.
the Montel Jordans. I know you guys had them on
Yeah.
your show, and they are wonderful. I don't know
So
if you guys have
good.
seen
Yeah.
them live. Oh, you gotta go.
They're great.
You gotta go.
So when is it's May 27th? May 27th
Yeah.
at the 710 in PB.
Yep, and everyone is required to do at least 3 80s pops covers. So
Yeah.
Now,
should be
could you
fun.
So-
could you tease maybe one of them that you guys are going to
Yeah.
we actually haven't decided on any. We actually just got an email today where we're going through and making sure people don't play the same stuff.
Oh yeah.
that's
You
a
don't
good
want to be
idea.
that band that went up and just played your knockout song.
Yeah, right.
What are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
rock and roll.
I mean, we always for the past year have been doing a Joan Jett cover, "Bad Reputation." So I don't think
I
it's
love-
necessarily a pop song, but I think we're still going to be playing
But it's
it.
like well known enough, you know.
So, but otherwise, we haven't really decided on the other 80s ones we're going to play.
I can see you slaying.
Totally.
Oh, she kills it.
Dude, it's so fun.
Mutation. Oh my
It-
god.
Yeah,
For
we for the longest time, Eli and I were so against covers, like
Yeah.
just because we want to play our own music.
And you only have like 20, 25 minutes to show who you are. You
Right.
don't want to spend your time playing other people's
Yeah.
music.
Don't cover Meatloaf. That's what you mean.
Right. You want your music in their face, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Drew was like, we were all out to eat one day. He's like, we got to do a cover, and we were like, all right, well, what do you want to do? And
Once again, as you know, Drew steps in.
yeah,
With the great ideas, yeah.
it's true.
That guy over
Most
there.
drummers are just lazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Not this
I'm
guy.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Most drummers are the ones who are actually like, you know,
Musicians.
yeah, exactly. But then, so we were talking about covers and we were throwing some around, and then Eli and I were watching. What show is it that has the?
It's with Dakota Fanning and wait, The
No.
Runaways,
No, it's a TV show we were watching.
Freaks and Geeks,
Freaks and Geeks. The intro
and the intro song.
The intro song is
Joan
Bad
Jett.
Reputation.
Yeah.
Bad Reputation. And so he was like, "What if we do Bad Reputation and you sing it?" And I was like, all right. And it's gone over really well.
We
so
practiced it and we're like, yes.
except for the fact that I still can't sing the
Okay, when we
verses
play this
correctly.
live, Kelly has to
I have
write
notes
reminders
on my wrist of
For the lyrics.
which verse is which.
She's got one of those like Tom Brady cheat sheet
yeah,
wristbands.
exactly.
All right, cool.
Yeah, can you imagine
It's
80s
hard enough
night?
to try and
What that's
remember how to
gonna
play
look
our own songs. That's why Eli's going to sing all the 80
Be
night
a
songs.
paragraph.
like? We're gonna have cue cards in the crowd.
Both arms just
But it has to be this arm because
Playing
this arm,
guitar like
it's
this?
open
bass, right?
because I'm playing the guitar. Yeah,
Right.
so I can quick glance and I'll get it.
You're
down.
very resourceful. That's all that tells me. It's awesome.
I wish I had more tattoos because I feel like I would just put that. I would just tattoo that there.
That lyric.
Maybe I'll leave it open,
man.
just as like a little
Save
joke
that part.
tattoo.
You do have one tattoo I see, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I want to know what that says.
Yes. What does that say?
It says, "What new friends will the day bring?" It actually asks it. It's an AFI lyric.
She's not obsessed.
And look at the
have
day.
more than just
the day
that
brought
tattoo.
you us. We're so sorry. This is all that's left.
Well, we think we're cool.
wait, you guys are my only friends.
You're
Nice.
welcome.
What time are we working with
Anytime,
here?
anytime.
Oh, I think it's time for another song there. Oh, we should get right into this
Oh,
next
yeah.
one here.
Let's do it.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
wait.
Okay.
you betcha.
Don't you know?
Oh, here we go. You're from
Back to Minnesota. We're going all the way to Fargo. We're going. No.
I'm gonna go get a hot dish for
Drew.
supper.
Drew, pick a song. What are we
Get
going
us
to play?
soda.
Ooh.
Drew. Oh,
I don't even
pressure,
know.
man. Oh. Well, what songs we
Yeah,
got?
what song?
Oh
I think
yeah.
we gave
The
them
burden.
The Burden?
The Burden.
Is that in there?
Yes, that's
Too
Oh,
bad.
yeah,
We're playing
yeah.
Never
Burden.
Say Die. John, go ahead. Spin it.
Infinite Signals. Never say die.
I have no trouble finding the best in someone else, but can only seem to focus on the worst within myself. And I don't know where that comes from, and I don't know how to change. I'm afraid I'll spend my whole life trying to figure out a way. I told myself that I would try until the end. I made myself a promise. I'll die before I'm broken. I'll die before I'm broken. Life is a funny thing. When death seems all the better, when it feels like it's the end, and it's hard just to remember when the wind felt just like love, and the world moved with the passion that you had when you were young. I told myself that I would try until the end. I made myself a promise. I'll die before I'm broken. I'll die before I'm broken. I told myself that I would try until the end. I made myself a promise. I'll try before I'm broken. I told myself that I would try until the end. I made myself a promise. I'll die before I'm broken. I'll die before I'm broken. I'll die before I'm broken. I'll die before I'm
a lot of emotion going on in these songs here. Who writes the lyrics
Wow.
typically, or do you guys alternate? Eli does it.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Where did this
Beautiful.
song come from here? You want to talk about this a little bit? Where
This,
do you reach?
every a couple times a year, I'll just hit this funk, and I'll just be super down, and like I don't know why.
You're menstruating.
That must be it. It's twice a year.
Yeah.
It's my cycle.
It rains when it rains twice a year in San Diego.
Then I get sad. So today is one of those days. And
Or is that why it rains in San Diego?
So he can write
Yeah.
a beautiful song that we can all relate to. You know?
And like this happened to just be one of those days, and I was just trying to like work through and kind of motivate myself to like keep trying and keep working at life and stuff. And that's where I'll Die Before I'm Broken came from.
Persevere.
Yep.
yeah.
This is a great rainy day song, by the way.
And guess what? It's a rainy day.
Right? Nicely done.
Oh, I have
Dilly
so
dilly.
So much to
Dilly.
say. I hear a soundtrack. You know, like that sounds like a soundtrack to me.
Big,
Like
it's-
behind,
yeah.
Like the OC.
yeah.
We did write it in Orange County.
What I love about that song,
And there you
kind
have
of it's the journey that song took me on. It spoke a lot about what you said, you know, where it's like I feel myself
Yeah.
down at this moment, and yet at the end of the song, that build up kind of it ends on a note of inspiration, like you just carry
Yeah.
on, never say
It's just
die. as
one
it was.
big crescendo.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. And the quality on this is awesome. I'm
amazing.
looking at here now. This was pretty much done solely by you guys.
Yeah.
You guys engineered it. It looks like, I mean, you had Xander in here that helped mix it over at TreeSpeak, but for the most part, I mean, you engineered this, Eli.
Where'd you record it?
This is fun.
Yeah,
Drew?
Yeah.
So my wife works at a facility, like a gym in Carlsbad, and when the gym would close down, we would go in, set up, and put up all the mics. And so we were working around cleaners, working around people working out
Working
at
out, phone
10
calls.
p.m. phone calls. We'd have to like stop and wait, and we just whenever we could get a free chance, we just laid tracks down.
Hope nobody's
Yeah.
picking up some weights.
Yeah, basically.
exactly.
It was like a thing. Yeah, it was. I mean,
That's crazy.
Eli actually Skyped Xander in while he was setting up the mics just to make sure everything was looking okay.
Yeah.
Xander is our buddy who lives. He's from in Minnesota. He has a studio that he and some other engineers built, and they're now running TreeSpeak Studios in Minneapolis. And he helped us with our other record, and then we were like, well, we can do most of this on our own as long as Eli knows where to put everything. Like we have the equipment,
Right.
but the engineering part was something we were kind of lacking. And so he had Xander Skyped in and made sure that everything was, all the mics were in the right place. And Xander listened to it mostly just for Drew's drums, and he, you know, if we needed to correct anything, we did.
Right.
But then
Wow.
from then on, that day, I think we got to do just one full day of drums, right? Yeah, because it was like a half day, I think.
Yeah.
You laid down 6 songs.
And then guitars you guys did, we just did vocals in there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, vocals were in there, and then guitars we did just directly through my interface at home, and then I used plugins for all of the distortions and tones, and then we sent that off to be mixed.
Very DIY.
Yeah.
Mind blown. It sounds
Insane.
amazing.
It's
Thank
perfect.
you.
It's great. It's almost like a Boston's album. You know, their first one they recorded in their garage, and it took them to the moon. And it sounds top quality. That was great. Now, what gets better
It is.
acoustics, free weights or machines?
Depends on where the mic is.
Right? It's like I
Get off the
prefer the
life
military press. You know,
We'll have to Skype
Personally?
Xander again.
yeah.
Xander,
Whatever it was, it worked. It's amazing.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We
get to
actually-
listen to it.
We actually just got to spend a whole day in a real studio
Yeah.
the other day on Tuesday. We were able to do some recording at Signature Sound Studio
Oh, right on.
in San Diego, which is where Blink
Yes.
has recorded, and Newfound Glory, and who else was on the wall? U2. And
That was like a dream come true.
Carlos
was-
Santana,
Yeah, my friend. our friend-
T-Pain.
T-Pain, Akon.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
T-Pain.
T-Pain
Yeah.
was
Hold
in
I
up.
think
Oh, he dropped that one.
Oh yeah.
I think Every Time I Die is recorded there. There's just so many just amazing bands. We don't even deserve to foot in that place.
I
But
make the difference.
I do too.
Our friend James, who he's got a company called Pinnacle Pro Sound, he's actually interning over there, and so he needed a band to record, and we were lucky enough to be that band, and so we spent 15 hours the other
Got
day.
2 songs.
Finished 2 songs,
Nice.
and really excited to hear those. We don't really know what we're going to do with them quite yet, just because it was
Kind of
complete.
spur of the moment.
It-
Future
he-
album, perhaps.
We're thinking like the
yeah.
Wu-Tang Clan, where we just like sell the one secret album
I'm
that
gonna
can't
hide
be
it
shared.
right.
in a geocache
To Martin
somewhere.
Get like
Shkreli.
$2 million for it.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Exactly.
Be your single that'll release and get put into a Marvel movie. Something.
Yeah, basically. So that's
It could happen.
now we've spent time in an actual real studio to where like all of us were like we can't go back to DIY. like,
It's so nice.
like, this is fantastic.
Right? This place has a bathroom.
Nobody's working out.
Yeah, she comes in like, what's that smell? Kelly, that's not sweat.
Clean air.
Yeah. That's awesome. So now these songs, you can find them actually on Bandcamp. You've got all 6 of these tracks available, and the whole album is what, $4?
Yeah, I think it's $4, and yeah, I think it's 4 on there. I don't know.
We
We
haven't
were
checked it for a while.
thinking of putting it to free just because it's been out for a while, and
Yeah.
if people want to listen to
Well,
it, it's also
but
on
y-
Spotify and Apple Music and iTunes.
But you're
and-
giving everybody a $96 discount, right? Just buy it for $4. Man.
exactly.
I like that marketing. That's awesome. Yeah, so you can find them on Bandcamp. They're also on the Facebook, or
The Facebook.
they got a main
The
website,
face.
infinitesignal.com. Definitely check them out there while you're perusing and looking at the Dusty Futon. I know you are.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. Big John,
Everyone's
do we got
a boy.
another song that we want to play here in a second? You want to
So
tell me the
Dusty,
name of that
my
song?
allergies are acting up.
Talk production
I cleared in
quality.
D.
I was like, I don't think I
not
saw
one of
that
our
one on
songs.
Bandcamp there, right? They didn't release that one yet, Big John. Yeah. All right, so this next one's called The Burden. We're going to burden you guys with this one.
This one's my favorite
Yeah, mine
off
too.
of this record.
Oh yeah.
Drew's like, I'm in a gym. I may as well get a workout.
Bombastic.
Life has been changing. I knew it wouldn't last. My mistakes came back to haunt me and to repeat my shitty past. And I can feel these walls are closing. They're closing. Last night I had a dream. The world went down in flames. I was chased by superstition. I was cut by everything. And now I can't stop bleeding. Life is getting lonely, but I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. I just can't help but think that this life is not my own. This life is not my own. Haunted by ghosts that should long have since passed. My life is consumed by this time that won't last. And still I can't stop bleeding. One day this world will beat you until you're on the ground and broken. And the dirt that moves will start to break will be a promise kept unspoken.
America.
I cannot wait to go to the 710 Club on May 27th and see you guys rock it
Oh, yeah.
live.
You know, it's funny, that bridge where I do the yell at the end.
Yeah.
We actually, when we got done recording this, we actually didn't have a vocal bridge for it. And I kept telling Eli, like, we need vocals in this bridge. We need vocals in this bridge. So we were in our apartment.
What did Drew say? That's the question.
I wasn't there for that.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't here
not
for that one.
approved by It wasn't
no, he
approved.
wasn't. It wasn't.
I drew. We're using that forever.
As it should be.
Drew.
Well, it's a good call.
Well, it's a good. It's recording, so we got it.
We have a stenographer back here working for us. Yeah.
Yeah, so we took that vocal bridge, and he finally figured out something, and we actually recorded that in the closet of
In our apartment.
We set up a little microphone, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs.
You like
Oh
to
my
scream
God.
in a closet
Our
somewhere.
cats are like,
I took my
going
earphones off when she was recording that last scream, and it was so loud. I was like, the cops are going to be called on us for killing somebody. Like it was.
He was like, I did not do it. Okay. I did not do it.
At the time, we lived in like quiet little Irvine.
In Irvine, like the
we're
richest place in Orange
seriously
County.
third store,
And she's screaming her brains out of the
third
closet.
floor apartment.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's not going to cause any attention at all.
Yeah.
Well, you
That was-
knocked it out of the park. God.
thank you.
Yeah, killer. What a good track. The Bird, and that's off of their latest
I
album.
just noticed
Dread.
that your shirt is George Bush
Dude,
riding a shark. Okay, hang on. For people who cannot
Go
see
ahead.
this, it is a great white being ridden by George Bush with who
George
is
W.
Oh, George W. Bush.
Bush.
Sorry, with shooting two
Guns a-blazing,
looks
right?
like revolvers. With a
Texas Star belt buckle.
oh yeah, Texas Star belt buckle.
hat has
we have
flown
the
off.
hat flying off, the cowboy hat, and we have an American flag cape
The shark is in the air too. It's not in the water.
and a life preserver for the impending water.
Dude.
I don't know.
It's the facial expression that ties it all together.
It totally is.
You can almost hear him going, "Woo! I'm gonna go sharkify my enemies right now."
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, America.
God bless America.
Right? We just need a can of Billy beer falling out. Here. Like,
I noticed
great.
it while you guys were playing Never Say Die, and I was like cracking up over here.
This shirt is America as fuck.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Merca.
America.
Yeah, right. There you go. Got that correctly.
So, you guys, thank you guys so much for coming out here and hanging out with us on the Futon.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you
for
for
having
having
us.
Yeah.
Definitely go check these guys out in May at the 710 Club in PB. Also, check out their latest album. It's on Bandcamp. You can listen to it and you can purchase it for $4. They've got another album also called Words and Will from previously that you can also get. That one's got 13 tracks on it. InfiniteSignal.com. Go ahead and check these guys out, and also check out the Dusty Futon too. You can find us on. You can find us on the World Wide Web, like we haven't said it enough.
Spotify.
Big
We're on
John.
Spotify
Come
now.
on,
We're
yeah.
like a grown
Are you
up.
really?
Yes,
You guys are on
breaking-
Spotify?
We
Yeah.
are now
Oh,
Spotify.
sweet.
All right.
Yes, we're
Nice.
we're Spotify.
We're getting there. We're getting it. We're doing this
Spotify.
adulting thing or something.
I don't know what that is.
And a big thank you to Tyler for being our host of this episode, Spicy Kim for being our executive producer and co-host, and Big John for being our engineer of this episode. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of the Dusty Futon, a Big John Entertainment production. And make sure you subscribe to us on Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, wherever you can find us. Go to DustyFuton.com to see all those locations. And on DustyFuton.com, you can check out every episode that the Dusty Futon has ever aired. And don't forget to check out Backstage360.com for some incredible information and editorials about bands coming to San Diego and all over the country. Thank you again for listening to this Big John Entertainment production and this episode of the Dusty Futon. We'll see you next week.